Hello everybody, welcome back to our CMA classes. So let's resume our law class. Okay, we have already completed what is the meaning of sustainable development. Now let's go for the further remaining part of this. Okay, so let's go for, we have already read what is sustainability report. Okay, so let's go for some of the advantage of sustainability report. So there are two type of benefits. First one would be the internal benefit within the organization, and which is outside, which is external benefit available to whom? To definitely the organization. Okay, so let's go for it now. Internal benefit includes, for companies and organization, can include increase undertaking of risk and opportunity in the organization, and it helps in emphasizing the link between financial and non-financial performance. Okay, it influences the long-term management strategy, policy, business plans, reduce risk, and which also improve efficiency. Benchmarking and assessing sustainability performance with sports performance standards, and it avoid being implicated in the public environment, social and government failure, and it help in comparing performance internally between the organization and the sectors. And let's go for some of the external benefits. They are mitigation or reversing negative environmental, social and governance impact, improving reputation and brand loyalty. Just a second. Yes, and enabling external stakeholder to understand company's true value and tangible and intangible assets, demonstrating how the organization influences and this influence by expectation among the sustainable. Okay, so these were the internal and external advantage to the organization with the help of what? Sustainability reports. Okay, so I have not gone to the depth of these things, I've just read out. Okay, so let's go for the major thing now. So what I have told you, the sustainable development is divided into three parts, right? First is corporate financial responsibility, corporate environmental responsibility, and definitely corporate social responsibility. Okay, among these three, one is very important, that is going to be the corporate social responsibility. So definitely first I am going to read out, but in detail we are going for the corporate social responsibility. Okay, so let's go for and find out what is the other meaning, what is the meaning of other things. Okay, which means corporate financial responsibility, which is definitely related to profit and all. Okay, so let's go for it. Every corporation has a responsibility to fulfill the legal requirement, first of all to fulfill the legal requirement, and to maintain a high standard of the business ethics, as well as to ensure compliance with the national policies and laws regarding to the financial responsibility. Okay, apart from, definitely the organization always works for profit. This is the very first target of the organization, but with that profit, the organization, the company have to keep some things in their mind. First of all, the standard should be maintained. Okay, standard should be maintained, and some legal requirement should be fulfilled. Okay, to maintain that standard of business ethics. Okay, and have to compliance with other laws. Okay, so these are the corporate financial responsibility, and let's go for which is written in this part. Corporate finance is the branch of finance that focus on how a company handles their cash flow, raise capital, make investment, and implement accounting system. It covers crucial topics like capital planning, capital structure, working capital, administration. So I'm not going in depth, okay, but we should definitely know what is the meaning of this part. So I have just clarified. Okay, so let's go for the second part, which is corporate environmental responsibility. As the name says, the corporate, which means the organization, always have to focus on environment, right? They also have to protect the environment. Okay, so let's go for it. And definitely these things are going to correlate with what? The sustainable development, which is corporate responsibility. So in these three parts, the corporate financial responsibility, corporate environmental responsibility, and corporate social responsibility, sustainability development is going to be there. Okay, because it is part of them. Okay, these three are part of the first part, which is sustainable development. Okay, so hope so this part is clear. Let's go for the corporate environmental responsibility. CER which is corporate environmental responsibility, in many way connected to CSR. But now how they can say that CER is connected to CSR? We know this, CER is definitely connected to the SR, ठीक है, SD, sustainable development, but now they are saying that it is connected to CSR. How? Okay, as both of them influence the environmental protection. So the for both of them, for CER, for CSR, the environmental protection is the main aim of both of the responsibilities. Okay. However, it is strictly about the consideration of environment implications and protection with corporate strategies. The understanding of CER cannot be separated from CSR. Both are interconnected and based on the environmental protection. So this is very clear that they both are interconnected, because they both are focusing on what? Protection of the environment. There are three major areas related to two concerns: economic, environmental and social. CER is focused more on the economic and environmental, while CSR relates to social and environmental. So CER is focusing on two things, CSR is also focusing on two things: CER economic and environment. Okay, and whereas CSR the environment and what? The social. Okay, so hope so this point was clear. Okay, so what are going to be the main point which is going to be covered in CER? Okay, these cover the environmental implications of the company's operation, which is going to eliminate waste and emissions. Okay, maximize the efficient use of resources and productivity, and minimize activity that might impair the enjoyment of resources by the future generation. Okay, which means the resources should be not exploited, it should be optimization, the use of resources should be optimized fully, okay, and it should be kept for the future use. Okay, so the future generation could also get that benefit, can also use that resources. Okay, hope so this point is also clear. Let's go for corporate social responsibility now, and this is going to be the main part. Okay, so we are going to cover this in very large. Okay, so let's go for it. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, is the idea that business should operate according to the principle, policies that make a positive impact on what? Society and environment. As we already discussed, there is CER and CSR are interconnected. Okay, both of them are focusing on the environment. Apart from the CER was focusing on the environment, right, and economy, and CSR was focusing on the environment and social. Okay, so what is this saying? They should operate, the business should operate according to the practices, the policies and the principles. So what is this focusing? With the help of the principle and the policies, the business should operate and impact what? The positive impact on the social and environmental. Okay? The corporate social responsibility is a strategy undertaken by the company to not to grow profit, but also to take the active and positive impact on what? The society in the world around them. The term is also associated with the related term, which is corporate citizen. So the CSR is related to corporate citizen. Okay, hope so this point was clear. Okay, so in CSR we have to focus on some principles and policies which is going to give the positive impact, right? Positive impact on what? The society and the environment. Okay, hope so this point was clear to you. Okay, let's go for the next one more term which you might be familiar. This is triple bottom line reporting. Okay, this is somehow related to that sustainability report. Okay, so you have to identify what is the difference between these two. Okay, let's go for it now. The triple bottom line reporting, which is TBLR, expand the traditional reporting framework to take into account which is social, environmental performance and addition to the financial performance. Okay, please focus. So they are focusing on what? The social performance, environmental performance and the financial performance. Okay, so this is focusing on three things. Okay, the concept of triple bottom line reporting, stating that the reporting should incorporate the social, environmental and financial performance of the organization. As I says, triple bottom line reporting requires that operations should reporting on three different bottom lines that are quite distinct but related to one another. So in triple, as a name say, triple bottom line, okay, so reporting, so they are going to be three part. Okay, first, as I told you, they are focusing on the social, environmental and financial performance of the organization. So in, as I told you, the triangle, okay, the triangle is divided into three parts, first, second and the third. Okay, so we have to identify which part specify which thing, okay, among social, environmental and the financial performance. And definitely this question will come in our exam in form of MCQ maybe. Okay, so they are discussed under the first bottom line happens to the, okay, before that let me go for the diagram which I have drawn here. So this is the first line, income statement. Okay, and this is what traditionally measure the operating result. Okay, this is focusing on the financial performance of the organization. Okay, hope so you get my point. So income statement is definitely related to what? The financial. Okay, so this is going to measure the operating result of the organization. Hope so this point was clear. Let's go for the organization people account, which is what? Which is responsible for what? The socially. Okay, this is going to impact on social, which means how socially it is going to be responsible. Okay, so it is going to focus the social performance. Okay, second part is going to say the organizational people account, which is going to tell the social performance of the organization. Third part is going to define about the organizational planet account, as the planet name is equal to environmental, right, which include flora and fauna, each and everything. Okay, so organization planet account is going to be responsible for what? How environmentally it's going to responsible. Okay, so they are going to three things. Income statement is going to tell the financial performance of the organization. Second, organization people account, which is going to tell the how socially it's going to affect. Okay, and third, organization planet, which is going to be tell us about the environmental performance. Okay, so let's now go for this thing. So the first bottom line happens to the bottom line of the income statement, which is traditionally measured what? Operating result. Hope so this was clear. The second bottom line is that of organization people account. What it's going to measure? The shape and form of how socially responsible an organization have been throughout its operation. Last, the third operation line is of organization planet account, which measures how environmentally responsible the company has been. Only a company that produces TBI report is taking account of full cost involved in doing business. Now my question comes to you, what is the difference of this and that report, sustainability report? Okay, triple bottom line report, TBLR, and sustainability report, as I have already mentioned in the previous lecture about this the sustainability report. Okay, there's only one more thing. Okay, three things are already covered: social, environmental and financial performance. Apart from that, one more thing is there. Okay, this makes a difference between these two. Okay, so you have to tell me in the comment section. So let's go for the other part, guys. Now you have to tell me, as we know this, okay, which company is going to take this, apply this corporate social responsibility. Okay, and by how much percentage the company have to contribute toward the social, corporate social responsibility, and what are the actions which can be taken in this. Okay, so let's go for it, guys. It is a private sector company or public sector company. So in both the cases, whether it's private company or it's public company, okay, whether it's private, whether it's public, CSR would imply. Okay, corporate social responsibility has to be added by all listed company, which means for the listed company it's going to be compiled. ठीक है, the CSR would be compulsory applied. ठीक है, whether it's private or public. ठीक है, this was clear, hope so. Second, for every listed company it's going to be adhered. Okay, and there are some category. If the company is falling under that category, in that case the CSR is going to be applied. ठीक है, let's go for it. If a company falls in either of the following criteria for compulsion, they need to form a CSR committee. ठीक है, first of all, for CSR, what I told you, whether it is public company or private company, ठीक है, it is going to apply. Okay, for all the listed company, they have to they have to apply this. They are compulsory to apply this CSR applications. Okay, hope so this point was clear. Okay, apart from that, for the other company which is not listed company, so we are talking about those company which are not listed. ठीक है, for those company, if any of these three conditions are fulfilled, any of these three, ठीक है, in that case there would be compulsion of CSR committee. ठीक है, hope so, let's go for it. This up to this was clear na? Okay, so if the net worth, they are having a net worth of 500 crore or more. ठीक है, if they are having a net worth of 500 crore or more, ठीक है, they are having an annual turnover of rupees 1000 crore or more, or they generate the profit of rupees 5 crore or more. So can I say, let's go for the ascending part. ठीक है, if they are having the net profit of 5 crore or more. ठीक, second, if they are having net worth of more than 500 crore or more. ठीक है, or if they are having the sales turnover of 1000 crore or more. Okay, which means 500 and 1000 crore. Hope so this point was clear now. Okay, wait, let me write it again. So we have 500 and 1000 crore. ठीक है ना, this is going to be what? Profit, net worth and sales turnover. Okay, if they are falling in this criteria, in that case they need to form a CSR committee. Okay, so let's go for it. During a financial year, if any of the above financial strength criteria are met, in that case they have to apply this section 135. 135 is of what? Corporate social responsibility. Okay, so hope so this point was clear. Now we have to identify by how much percentage a company have to contribute toward the corporate social responsibility. The qualifying companies are required to form CSR committee, as I told you. Okay, they are needed to spend at least 2% of its average net profit for 3 previous consecutive financial year. So percentage is going to be 2%. Okay, not less than that. Okay, on what amount? On the 3 preceding financial year, ठीक है, of net profit. We are talking about the net profit. So we are going to take the 3 preceding financial year net profit. Okay, average of them. ठीक है, on the CSR initiative, mandatory a CSR committee has to be formed by qualifying company. It also has to appoint 3 directors of the board of directors. The committee is responsible for preparing and recommend to the board policies and plan CSR activities to be undertaken, that they would also suggest and protect the amount of expenditure to be incurred on the activities, monitor the implementation of CSR policy and activities is also their job, and the board will analyze the recommendation and suggestion made by the CSR committee and support the CSR policy and activities. And I'll tell you one more thing. This was a question asked in previous question papers. ठीक है? So there was a question about what is the work of CSR committee, okay, and the policies. So please make sure this is also important. Okay, so one more thing, what happens if the prescribed percentage is not contribute toward the corporate social responsibility? Okay, in that case the board have to give why this contribution was not made. Okay, they have to give the clarification, okay, and it is to be signed. Okay, hope so up to this was clear. Let's go for why it is really important. it improves the customer perception of your brand, which means increase the reputation, increase the customer loyalty. Okay, it attracts and retains the employees. Okay, the employees are not going to leave the office, not going to leave the organization. Okay, it increases your appeal to the investors. Okay, this is the reason why CSR is really important. Hope so up to this was clear. Let's go for some of the activities which is included here. Okay, types of CSR activities under schedule 7 of the company. So let me be very clear first of all, key for CSR contribution, okay, it should not be contribute toward the family of employees, okay, for their children, okay, or for their family, okay, or for not the, it should not be benefited for the boss, the founder of the organization, okay, or not for the benefit for particular group, particular community or particular religious, okay. So hope so this point was clear. So they are some of the activities, let's go for it. First is eradicating hunger, poverty and malnutrition. This can be done by promoting health care and sanitation in the rural areas, okay, which means apart from company we are going to do it, okay. We are not going to focus on the company and we cannot say that this is CSR contribution, okay, that would not be included in CSR contribution. So it should be based on first eradicating hunger and poverty and malnutrition, okay, which focus on the healthcare, sanitation of rural area. This can also be contribution to Swachh Bharat Kosh, which has been set up by the central government, blood donation camp, and can also be done by part of the company CSR activities. Second activity is going to be the promoting education, okay. This can be inclusive of providing education of children, essential vocational skill training that enhance employment or special education among women, elderly and differently abled, okay. So this means the education is given to whom? Children, definitely women, and for those specially able children, okay, for specially able disabled students, children's, okay. There was section in direct taxation. So can you tell me which section was there under deduction? Okay, if you know please comment below. So let's go for the other activity, which is promoting general equity, which means women empowerment and all. Let's go for the other CSR initiative related to the environment, okay. So as we all know, the waste which is actually spread to the rivers and all, discarded to the rivers, which is giving what? The water is becoming polluted, okay. It also going to affect flora and fauna, which means environment. So the waste should not be directly discarded into the rivers. So this is one of the measure which is to be taken by companies, okay. Or second thing is what happens, the waste is going to discard it in some of the forest area. This is again going to harm the wildlife, okay. So this is going to give the adverse effect to the environment, okay. Let's go for the other thing. Protection of natural heritage, art and culture is also one of the activities which is going to be included in CSR, okay. It measures can be taken toward the benefit and support of armed force veterans, war, widows and families, and contribution to Prime Minister National Relief Fund. Do you remember section 80G in DT, okay, or any other fund set up by the central government for the welfare, development and relief of scheduled caste, tribe and other backward class, women and minorities, okay. So as they have said, for any particular religion they cannot go for, but if they are scheduled caste, scheduled tribe or any backward classes and women and minority, for them they can go for, okay. The contribution can be done, the CSR contribution can be done. Contribution of fund provided to the development of technology located with the central government approved academic institution. So this is one of the other activities going to be included, and contribution can be made toward the rural development project and slum area development. So these are the activities included in CSR. Okay, so what I told you, apart from that, contribution made to the employees, okay, and to their families, to their students, okay, which means, as I told you, first point was of what, second point was of promoting education, okay, and if the company is going for providing education to the family of employees, okay, employer is giving education facility to whom, to the employees family, okay, that will not going to be included in CSR activity, so please make sure. Okay, so let's go for some of the examples of the CSR activities in India. Okay, so which is, I'm just going to take the name, okay, not going to depth now. So this is one, ITC, Tata Power, as we know this, okay, Infosys, Reliance, Amul. So what happens with, definitely they are one of the top contributor toward the GDP of the country, okay, but with that they are also focusing on employees, okay, as I told you, CSR is not going to employ that contribution not going to be included in employees wala, okay, employees contribution is not going to be CSR active included in the CSR activity, but apart from that they are focusing on their employees health, okay, employees family health, providing education to the backward areas, promoting women, okay, and health insurance is also provided by these companies, okay, so they are actually giving creating a role brand to the customer, okay, by doing these things the customer is definitely going to attract by them, as they are creating a loyalty, okay, so this is going to give the positive impact on their reputation. Okay, so they are the companies which are doing really great, okay, definitely in financial performance wise and for the environmental and social purpose wise. Okay, okay, so hope so this point was clear. And there are some of the other example apart from Indian companies, they are Lego, Tom's, Johnson & Johnson, Starbucks and Google, okay, so they are also top contributor of CSR. Let's go for one more thing now. By this we'll end this lecture. What is Sustainability Accounting Standard Board? This is one of the most established environmental social governance guidance framework. It provides standard for disclosing the financial impact of company sustainability effect. In other words, it allows business to communicate the financial outcome of their CSR and ESG measure to investigator and other stakeholder. Okay, it is, the standard are efficient based, cost effective, market informed and industry specific, covering 77 industries. These standards help produce structure, comparable and standardized data that is perfect for both internal and external communication of CSR and ESG impact. So basically this is given the standard. Okay, Sustainability Accounting Standard Board is established for environmental, social, governance, which is guiding, which is a guidance framework, okay, which is providing standard basically. Okay, so far we have covered these things. So what you have to do, read out the sections whatever written in your law book, okay, and go for the questions, past previous year question papers, and do the writing practice, guys, because as we are very familiar with the section, but when it comes to writing the question, it's very difficult to frame the answer. Okay, we are unable to frame the answer properly. So please go for the previous year question paper, how the answer is framed there. From that, do the revision practice. Go for the case studies. If you can mention the case study, then go for it. Till then, I'll continue this lecture. This is Soumya Santosh. Today.